you think more than $50 billion in spending over the next 5 years in the federal budget is too much?
Yeah, I would say so, especially with rising interest rates, the deficits, the government debt. I think the only way to pay that down is either through increasing taxes or cutting services, right? So that's the decision that has to be made. It's a tough decision. I mean, I don't envy the people who are making those decisions, but yeah, I would say need a little bit more prudency, that's for sure.
I feel like it might be too much. I mean, just with inflation, trying to get that under control and the government pouring that kind of money into the economy is a little concerning. I'm all for programs, but maybe a more balanced approach. I think it's maybe too much.
I think it's a little too much. I understand that during the pandemic they had to put money into the economy and into people's hands in order to get people to spend money. And it was a worldwide pandemic. It wasn't just us. But the current budget, I think, is a little too much for what we can afford right now. And it just raises our interest on our debt, and we have to pay for that. And I'm just feeling like it's a little too much right now.
We're like, since COVID, since we tried to make sure people still got paid when they had to stay at work, or for those who couldn't work from home, I feel like the idea of it just seems like a permanent thing that we have a massive deficit. Like, there's no escaping that. I mean, $50 billion is maybe irresponsible. I don't know. But I think that we're way past the era of ever not having a massive deficit.
I would really have to get a breakdown on what that spending is exactly being invested in, because I just don't know. So in terms of what the actual impact of those investments are having on the community, social programs, Canadians in general, I don't really have a solid answer for you. I think it would really depend on what's the success rate of those investments, and are they doing it proportional to where the need is.
Okay. Well, my take would be that we need to focus on, I think oftentimes we look at costs and budgeting from a standpoint of a zero-sum game. Problem is, really, we lose a lot of money every year because due to tax loopholes, tax havens that are exploited. I mean, we saw the Pandora Papers revealed a lot of money that Canada has lost over the years. So I think if we start, bringing in more of that, more revenue, by shoring up those loopholes a bit, I think we can start to really effectively budget a bit better. So I don't necessarily, I think there's more solutions than just austerity, just saying cut healthcare, cut this and this. So that would be my take.
It all depends on what it's being spent on, and is it beneficial to reducing prices or reducing or increasing the money into the people's pockets, because more spending cash means better economy.
Right now people are struggling. I think that there's a lot of things that could be fixed, and I think as long as you're putting the money in the right place and you're getting a good return on investment, that's kind of the way to go. What that looks like, no idea, but I think $50 billion just as a bare number to say is that too much really is going to depend on where it's going.
Depends what it's going to. If we can invest in our economy and get that back on track, then I think it's the right call. But if it's just going to waste, then why? Where's the point?
That depends. Like, what is that 50 billion going towards? Is it going towards like a good cause, like ending hunger in Canada or ending homelessness? It all depends on like what that money is being put towards.
Tenable, but at the same time, like, you need to invest in the economy, so it's a balance, like, so we need to just see that very the right balance, and depending on that.
Well, I think 50 billion over 5 years, honestly, what it does is it provides a bit of security to understand where our dollars are going, and that investment of within the people, I think that's an important aspect. So yeah, with the cost of inflation and the rate of inflation, honestly, there is some relief needed. So yeah, I'd like to maybe understand a little bit more of where the dollars are going, but quite frankly, rate of inflation, we do need more spending for our communities.
I believe in social spending. You're going to pay for it one way or another, and so I would rather see spending on the front end of problems and not the back end of problems.
I don't know a lot of details in terms of what that budget covers. It does seem like an awful lot of money, although I'm hopeful that whatever they're planning to spend, it's in the right places?
It depends on the subject. There's a lot of areas that need money and there's a lot of areas that are overinflated. For example, I think there's a lot of money that needs to go back to the military, but it's a lot more than $50 billion and we don't even got that. I think they just need to prioritize where they are allocating their funds at.
They really do need to take a look at deficit spending across the board and just take a look at spending across all aspects and just really try and control and curb and get the deficit under control.
I believe that it is because I want to know where our money is going, right? As a Canadian citizen and as an Indigenous person, I feel like that our money should be handled productively and responsibly, right?